What really happened when Jungkook made a secret video call that left Jimin sobbing? And who was the mysterious figure behind the scenes that shook ARMY's heart? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep getting the latest news about BTS's unexpected drama. Since the short-lived video call spread among fans, Jimin's emotional response was clearly recorded. His tears melted down his cheeks, his lips trembled, and his eyes were filled with questions. Who was the someone that Jungkook contacted, causing an incredibly sad reaction from the person who had seemed the toughest? Is this just a personal matter, or is there a dark story that has been hidden? Not a few ARMY wondered, what is hidden behind the small screen of the phone, so that the atmosphere of the studio becomes eerily quiet? The news first broke when one of HYBE's staff who tried to maintain the privacy of members accidentally leaked a clip. In the 12-second clip, Jungkook is seen sitting in a corner of a dark room, lit only by a cell phone light, talking in a low voice. As soon as the frame shifted, it seemed that Jimin entered the room in a hurry, then settled in the doorway, his eyes reddened. He shrieked slowly, holding back the tears. Jungkook's figure briefly turns his head, their faces looking at each other, but the sound is not heard again before the video ends abruptly. The question that lingers in the minds of millions of fans: who exactly is Jungkook calling? There are rumors that accuse it of being related to family problems. There are also those who associate it with romance rumors that have been dismissed by the Magne duo. A number of insiders speculated that the call came from someone Jungkook had been very close to during his trainee days, an old friend who suddenly came back with an emotional conflict. The strongest news is that the call came from a woman who had been close in the past. But are these rumors true? On the other hand, the most important aspect of this incident was how fragile Jimin was in that moment. The figure, which always stood firmly, enveloped his comrades in warm hugs and cheerful laughter, was also occasionally scratched by deep wounds from which he choked. The confessions of several staff members who witnessed the situation after the video call was cut revealed that Jimin had retreated, closed the door, and let go of emotions alone in the dressing room, with a pounding chest and trembling hands. He wiped away his tears with his arm, staring blankly at the BTS poster-lined wall, as if looking for hard-to-reach answers. This incident immediately became a hot discussion on social media. The thread on Twitter, even before the full video was leaked, was full of analysis of Jimin's face, the wrinkles on his forehead, how the corners of his lips decreased, and his hunched body gestures. The ARMY also bombarded the hashtags #WhyIsJimin and #JungkookCallMystery, hoping for clarity. But HYBE chose to remain silent, issuing only a brief statement that the artist's privacy is maintained and urging fans to refrain from spreading rumors. The statement adds to the mystery. If there is no major scandal, why should there be an official statement? Behind the scenes, BTS's internal dynamics are also reportedly tense. Some sources say that the three Magne Jeon, Suga, and RM tried to calm Jimin's anxiety. RM, who was famous for being wise, was said to accompany his best friend late at night, taking him to chat, soothing with the philosophy of life. Suga also whispered support through voice messages, offering time to rest and space to think. But until this news was revealed, there was no direct confirmation from the members, all just rumors layered on the imagination of fans. Then comes the hazard theory. Is there new pressure from HYBE management? Some ARMY speculated that the video call was related to a sudden change in contract agreement, in which Jungkook was faced with emotionally draining terms. There were also allegations of internal conflict between Jungkook and the new production team. Supposedly, the team asked for a drastic image change, demanded an artistic idea that frustrated Jungkook, then voiced it to someone who ended up making Jimin flinch. Although there is no hard evidence yet, this speculation adds to the sense of tension. Is BTS facing a new storm behind the scenes? What about Jungkook himself? During this time, he was known as a cheerful and optimistic person, but other footage circulating shows his face gloomy after the call. In one candid photo, she appears looking down, mobile phone in hand, her lips grim. Is this a sign of a deeper mental burden? The celebrity psychologist interviewed warned that the high pressure in the entertainment industry can cause psychological wounds in disguise. Perhaps the moment of the video call opened Jungkook's old wounds, and the emotions were transmitted to Jimin, who was always close to him. Among the waves of fans' emotions, there were also a handful of voices that reminded not to get carried away with excessive emotions. They demanded that the army remain supportive and maintain the artist's privacy. "We are not cops, not detectives," one senior fan wrote on the forum. "Let them both process whatever happens." Similar advice appears in YouTube and Instagram comments, often interspersed with heart emojis and appeals for support. But still, the desire to find out the truth is burning. A number of fanbase accounts made a small survey. Who do you think is behind the video call? The choice: former trainee, new manager, family, or mysterious unknown figure. The results varied, with most choosing former trainees based on loose rumors in Reddit threads. On the other hand, some fans of the veteran restrained themselves, emphasizing that without concrete facts, all is still limited to dangerous assumptions. Despite all the speculation, one thing is certain. The moment of that video call has opened a new chapter in BTS's journey. As if to remind them that behind the glitter of the stage and the glare of the cameras, they are ordinary people with wounds, doubts, and tears. Will the impact continue? Will there be a follow-up video that provides an explanation, or will more and more pieces of the mystery unfold one by one? To be sure, the army will continue to wait for answers, support, and, of course, discuss to the limit of tested patience. Less than a week has passed since the video call was leaked, but the aftershocks continue to shake the foundations of the army's trust. Hours after the initial post went viral, BTS' official Instagram account posted a brief Insta story. Just a silhouette photo of two figures standing face to face in a studio corridor without any text. The Insta story was immediately screenshot and reposted by hundreds of fan bases, prompting new speculation. Was it a cut of the apology scene between Jungkook and Jimin after the call incident? An internal source reported that at that moment, the atmosphere in the training room turned quiet. The usual background music accompanying rehearsed vocals suddenly came to a standstill, and the entire crew, from lighting to sound engineers, froze in silence as the two magne entered the waiting room together. I saw Jimin wiping away his tears again, then holding Jungkook's shoulder tightly like a person who is comforting a friend, said one of the crew members, who asked not to be named. The seconds were recorded by one of the surveillance cameras, but unfortunately only had time to be recorded for 3 seconds before being mysteriously deleted. Meanwhile, another rumor surfaced about the content of the video call conversation. It was mentioned that Jungkook received sad news from the family, possibly related to the health condition of one of his critically ill family members. Many have linked Jimin's sad reaction because he considers Jungkook like a younger brother, and the sadness of his partner touches the maternal side that Jimin has shown so far. This was confirmed by Jimin's old post on Weverse, in which he once wrote, "Jungkook was a gentle boy. He always covered up his pain so it wouldn't bother us." Now, that sentence feels strongly resonated that a new furor arose when a TikTok account posted the alleged content of the call in the form of narrative text, claiming the conversation contained an apology for past mistakes that had never been made public. The account wrote, "Jungkook, I know I failed you once, Jimin, but this time I need you by my side." Then, Jimin held back the tears as he whispered, "To me, you are a brother. No matter what happens, I will always be there." Although it was clearly fan fiction, the piece again provoked a wave of theories. Is there a hidden feud between the magne hidden behind a cheerful smile? Amid the uproar, several well-known artists and influencers also commented, albeit vaguely, on social media. Celebrity X wrote, "Important lesson, don't judge someone's strength just from the stage." While the actor Y inserts a short story, empathy is more expensive than popularity. The messages add to the impression that the entertainment world is mourning behind the sparkling lights. Questioning HYB's next steps, until now there has been no more detailed official statement. However, it was reported that the management held a closed-door meeting with the three magne to discuss image recovery and mental health plans. There have been rumors of possible off-camera work such as counseling sessions, joint recreation, or even a brief hiatus being offered to make room for Jimin and Jungkook. While the ARMY hopes for clarity and real support, some are waiting for signs that the Magne duo are ready to reappear in public, with sincere smiles. On a rare occasion, a blog run by a close friend of Jungkook, known as the former trainee who was also touted as the figure behind the mysterious call, posted an open letter. It stated that the call was not intended for the public, but was purely a private matter that should not be divulged. He wrote, "I hope the ARMY understands this personal situation. We never know what a person's burden is. Sorry for the leak. We asked for privacy to heal wounds." The post was deleted a few minutes later, but the screenshot is now widely circulated. On the other hand, the trend challenge "Show Your Support for Magne" began to appear on TikTok, where fans posted short videos of emotional support, humming soothing snippets of BTS song lyrics, or simply posting their photos with hopeful captions. There are also fan art drawings depicting Jungkook and Jimin hugging, enveloped in a warm light, a symbol of true comrades strengthening each other. The big question now is not only about who is being called, but also how BTS will rise from this storm of feelings. Will the studio return boisterous laughter? Will there be a special live session as an apology or explanation? To be sure, the ARMY is ready to faithfully await every move. The story Yammer. Jimin was caught sad after Jungkook's video call with someone is not over yet. He just entered the third act in a real drama that has never been broadcast on any TV. As the day rolled on, speculation did not subside. Online media in South Korea even dropped a second headline. Will BTS postpone their comeback schedule due to the video call incident? Although the agency stated that everything went smoothly as planned, rumors continued to circulate that the music and video clip recording sessions were delayed by 3 hours when the main producer chose to wait for Magne's mood to stabilize. It is said that the scene on the set of the video clip, which requires a warm emotional interaction between Jungkook and Jimin, was changed to a solo scene in order to respect the conditions of both. This decision certainly raises a question mark. Is a further psychological impact being faced by them? Not only domestically, the international fan base, from Brazil to India, also felt the same anxiety. The ARMY support group in London held an online gathering to cheer on the bereaved Magne by lighting virtual candles and playing a playlist of songs of encouragement. Meanwhile, in the United States, several independent radio stations inserted a short message before playing BTS's latest single, "Our support for Jimin and Jungkook. I hope you come back soon with a strong heart." This kind of moment of solidarity recalls that fandom is not just cheers at concerts, but an umbrella of empathy when an emotional storm hits. In that dynamic, the leading music analyst, Kim Sung-ho, argues that the pressure of idols and the creative process should not be ignored. When artists are forced to perform perfectly under the pressure of contracts and global expectations, the potential for mental exhaustion is very high, he said in a radio interview. According to Kim, the video call incident is a reflection of the dark side of the K-pop industry that is rarely exposed. If not taken seriously, it could spark a trend of anxiety disorders among the next generation of idols, a bad legacy that no one wants to bear. Meanwhile, the wildest rumors involve an alleged new chapter in the individual contract between Jungkook and HYB. Some observers of the entertainment business have suggested that the youngest Magne will now have the opportunity to negotiate greater creative rights after the public witnessed the depth of her emotions. If true, this incident could change the map of power behind the scenes, setting an example for other idols to be more vocal about their mental well-being and control over their work. However, the HYB side again chose silence, fueling rumors. Are they drafting a revolutionary new deal, or trying to extinguish the fire of criticism as quickly as possible in the midst of the whirlpool of stories? A surprising news comes from an insider source. Jimin is reportedly planning a private live broadcast to discuss what true friendship means with Jungkook, without involving the official PR team. That said, they hope to open a space for direct dialogue with the ARMY to explain feelings and rebuild trust that had faltered. If true, this will be the first time the Magne duo speak fully honestly, unscripted and filtered, about the wounds and inner bonds that bind them. Not surprisingly, the date and platform of the live broadcast are now the target of rumors: YouTube, V-Live, or even HYB's new platform. Until this writing is compiled, the story of Yammer, Jimin caught sad after Jungkook video call with someone continues to cause new waves. Every piece of information that comes out is like a piece of a puzzle. Some of it proves to be true, some of it just a breeze ago. But one thing is for sure. ARMY will faithfully await clarity, and BTS, with all its courage and vulnerability, will write another epic chapter in the course of their career. Stay with us for further story developments, share your opinions in the comments, and make sure notifications are active so you don't miss the historic moment when our magne shines again. The wave of controversy escalated when a video documenting BTS's vocal training for the repackaged version of the album was leaked. It clearly showed Jungkook and Jimin standing side by side, but the